Scrappy Friends, welcome to my channel. This is Hannah with you, and today I have a layout for the 52 weeks of 52 favorite photos YouTube hop. This is definitely late, but that's okay. I am still getting situated in posting regularly, so not every week's gonna be on time, and I'm okay with that. So hopefully you guys are too, because the layout's still here. So I am super excited to join with this hop because one of my problems with scrapbooking now is the fact that I don't take enough photos. And so this challenge, I am so very much hoping, helps encourage me to just take more photos of our everyday. And so yeah. So that is what I'm trying to do, is using this as an intentional way to make sure I'm getting photos and the stories that I want to remember in the future. And I think that's one way I want to go about doing my scrapbooking, especially since I've been pretty prolific in the past, is just making sure I'm thinking about what kind of stories do I want to tell, what kind of stories do I think my kids or family is going to want to remember when I'm not here, or when we're older, or God forbid, even, as I get older and my memory starts going, I've noticed, like, that's one of the big things that I've noticed, even just with not scrapbooking, that how I communicate is not as good, and how I remember things is not as good. And some of it is just because I'm getting older. Some of it is just dealing with stress, and some of it I think is I'm not pouring into the areas like crafting like I used to, and I think that really opens up pathways in your mind. I in my real-time job, I used to work as an ABA therapist, and I still do elements of that in the job that I do now, working for a nonprofit with kids with developmental disabilities. And but one of the things that our brains are so neuroplastic, and when we're using them in all these different ways, we really get to open up how our brain works even more. And so creating good habits and stuff is one of the things that I am looking forward to doing, so that maybe it really helps the other areas in my life where I'm seeing deficits. So here we are. I am doing a layout in which I don't have a like an idea of what I'm doing, as far as, like, I'm not using a sketch. I am just kind of going, what do I think is going to work good? One of the things that I kind of have thought about is, like, what kind of layout styles have I done in the past that I think would be fun to, like, recreate. I know before I stopped scrapbooking, I was gonna start a layout series, and I think I did 2 layouts in it, so maybe I'll kind of pick it up here and there. With going back and lifting some of my first original layouts that I did. Unfortunately, some of those I did scrap lift other people, because it was an album that I made for my daughter when she did her Make-A-Wish. So that was one of the first things that I scrapbooked so many years ago. But anyway, this is not that. Anyway, so right now I'm going to cut up a whole bunch of these pieces. They're not all the same size because I want them to go along the sides and just kind of be wonky or not even. If I had my sewing machine kind of at ready, which I don't, I actually have it in a completely different room. So maybe that's one of the things that I'll tackle as I get back into scrapbooking and get organized. I think the hardest part is finding the time, since I'm trying to make more of that effort of scrapbooking, finding that extra time to get in there and really do like a big purge and just do a big organization, which I do need to do. And when I do that, I'll share a little bit more of how it is. I mean, I share a space with my daughter, but anyway, if I had my sewing machine at the ready, I would use that just a couple of times. And when I do use my sewing machine for projects like this, I use the least amount of glue that I can because it really gums up your machine. I don't know if any of you guys use your sewing machine. I bought one just so that I could scrapbook with, but I can tell you I've broken quite a few needles, which is not so fun. And I feel like once you kind of funk it up, because I don't sew, I'm not a sewer. I can do like minimal things, but I really am not that great at it. So like fixing the bottom and the tension and stuff has been kind of fun. But anyway, eventually I will get back into bringing it upstairs and using it more because I really do like that element. There's a couple of layouts that I've done, and I made a card for my grandmother that was part of, I used a layout that I scrap left myself and made a card instead of a layout. But anyway, that's also a whole other thing. So I am deciding to do basically the same thing on the other side, except for I don't think I added that striped paper that I think. So these are all different papers that I either have in my stash, like the blue polka dot one. And I am sorry for the wonky lighting. It's really not that great. So I'm still getting everything situated with my area to film better because some of the layouts that I did before I stopped scrapbooking, I was using a different stand. I was using a tripod and it just was not working. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to. And so I finally just got a new one, and this light on the side, because you kind of need to both lights. Anybody who does videos know you need both. You need lighting on like kind of both sides. And I kept getting in front of it. I think I was trying to brainstorm with my husband about like what we could do to fix that. So I need to get better lighting. But so I'm hoping the next layout isn't as bad. So I apologize for that because who wants to see like it's all blown out because I get in the way. But I am actually almost done with this. Can you guys believe that? I'm just going to put some final touches with all the different stuff on it. And so I'm super excited that it's just coming together relatively quickly and easily. I thought about putting that other paper. I think it's crepe paper. So that one is a newer paper that I got. So I have some newer stuff that I bought in the last year or so, just because I miss buying pretty things. I don't know how about you guys, but I didn't really buy that much while I wasn't scrapbooking. But every once in a while, I'd hit up Joann's, which is a hot mess in my area. But, and I'd get some stuff. So I think that was one of the papers that I got. It's just super pretty. I love those colors. And, so this is a photo of my daughter. She's looking stuff up on her phone with some Pokemon. She really, actually, all my kids really love Pokemon. And they really actually like to collect it more than probably play. My oldest daughter likes to play a lot more. But, and so she found this really cool Japanese pack that she could buy that had like some special cards. And so she just got this pack in the mail. She saved up for it. And she sold some of her other Pokemon cards that she didn't want. And so she was able to purchase this really cool pack. And so now in the picture, she's looking at online to see how much some of them were worth because, like I said, some of them were rare, and I don't know that much about Pokemon except for what they tell me, and even then, you know, it's one of those things that the kids like. But so she was super excited when she got it, and she had to pull it right out, and I really wanted to document that, but I also wanted to document about the fact that like my kids love to hang out on the couch. We moved the couch where it is now for the tree, but I think we're going to keep it there. And they really love to sit there and hang out and watch TV and stuff. And so it's kind of a fun little meeting place in our living room. that we can just kind of hang out, and she really likes hanging out there. That's like her spot right now. So um so now I'm just kind of finding some other stuff. I really tried to pull stuff from my stash, as I'm trying not to buy too much right now because, like everybody, a girl needs to budget. But I have so much stuff from being on design teams in the past and getting kits and stuff, and I absolutely loved getting kits because then you have new stuff every month, but it kind of helps you not overbuy. So I am pro kit. If anybody has ever ever asked for my opinion, I am pro kit, because especially when you're first starting off scrapbooking, which is why I started getting kits. And I started getting kits when Scraptastic was a kit club. Actually, it was Scraptastic and Studio Calico, I think, were the main people. And I didn't end up getting stuff from Studio Calico very often, not any kits at least. I don't think I bought any of their kits. And by the time I was really kidding, they kind of slowed down doing their kits and stuff, which is fine because honestly, as much as I love that clean look that they have, I have a hard time. Like sometimes I buy stuff from uh the lily pad from Paisley Press and stuff, and it's nice for certain elements, but anyway, that's besides the point. So right now I decided to pull out some of my shimmers sprays, which I really need to go through them and see which ones are good. So I really looked and made sure that they weren't going bad, because I'm not sure the shelf life on those. I actually should probably ask them. They probably would let me know. But they still look really good once I roll them. So with shimmers, you really want to roll them because of the way that the nozzle is. It can get stuck really easily. But then I also use some Heidi Swap on that pink because I have a lot of pink on this layout too. So I really wanted to make sure that I got the blues and teal and then the pink. And then that's my layout. I wasn't planning on doing any mixed media. Oh yeah, I forgot that I added a Brad and some other stuff. I'm telling you guys, I have so much stash. So I think this year that's going to be my goal, is to use as much stash as possible so that I can make a good budget, like figure out a good budget and just start buying some new stuff, because I absolutely love getting new stuff. I don't know about you guys, but when you have so much, you got to use it, right? And so here is the layout. I hope you guys check out all the other layouts in the hop. This will be in there. It'll be on my channel. But I'll make sure I have links to the hop playlist and all of that good stuff. And I hope you guys have a great scrappy week. Can't wait to see you again. Bye.